Hey, what's up? My name is Samuel Leeds. I am a property investor. Literally, oh my goodness, I started out with nothing. I got my first property age 17, and then I slowly built my portfolio. I've now been in the game for 12 years. I'm 30 years old. And on this video, I'm going to be answering your property investment questions. So any questions you've got, pop them below in the comment box, and I'll do my best to answer honestly, openly. I'll give you the good, I'll give you the bad, I'll give you the ugly. For me, property's been pretty good, certainly more good than bad and ugly. However, I have seen warts and all, deals have gone wrong. So if I can help you, open your eyes to help you have success, but also avoid some of the problems that a lot of people go through, I'll do my best. However, these Q&A Sundays would be really, really sucky if you didn't actually ask me any questions. It would just be a blank video. So do me a favor, drop a comment below with your questions. So if it's around mortgages, tax, HMOs, lease options, rent to rent, speaking to people, negotiations, property predictions, anything, whack it below as a question and I'll help you as best I possibly can. Also, don't forget to subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and also hit the like button as well to show your support, because I do a video every single day. I don't really have to do this. I do enjoy doing it, and the reason I enjoy it is because I enjoy helping people, seeing people succeed. So if you want to show your support back, hit like, subscribe. Let's see what we've got. So Harry H says, any advice for aspiring developers? Okay, so a developer, the difference between a property investor and a property developer, an investor is someone who will invest their money in a property. That's an investor. A developer is someone who will actually build a property, or they'll buy a property and they'll completely refurb it, change its use, maybe buy a pub and develop it into flats. So that's a developer. And then there's a property entrepreneur. And a property entrepreneur is somebody who makes money in property via things like management and deal packaging. So you can make money in property, you can invest money in property, or you can grow your wealth in property through development. So if you want to be a developer, my advice for you would probably be, number one, if you're new to property, I would probably start with small developments, maybe even very small projects, like buying a small house and converting it into 2 flats, where the level of risk is very, very low. If you're going to start doing bigger deals, then I would suggest potentially starting teaming up. So maybe you bring money to the table, but team up with somebody who's got more experience. And then that way you're going to be able to learn from the project. So it really depends on your starting point, but I hope that helps. If it does, hit the like button. All right, next, DD and NN says, hi Samuel, I'm 15, crazy. I met a guy today actually who was, to be fair, he was still young. He was 17, but he's 17, but he's actually got a property business now. He's working with his sister, and I was like, cool, man. He's a teenager doing well. He said, I've been watching you for 4 years on YouTube. I was like, 4 years? You must have been like 13. Yeah, when you started watching me, like a young teenager. So, hey, respect, buddy. I appreciate you. He said, is there a way I can surround myself with people that know more about property than me? Also, what should I do to start my property portfolio? So I think, surrounding yourself with people that know more about property than you is a really good thing. And how you're going to do that is by you are going to put yourself in the right room. People are going to say in years to come, you got lucky. People say that about me. Oh, he got lucky. I didn't get lucky. I put myself in the right place at the right time. And how did I do that? I did that by joining things like BNI. I joined Business Networking International when I was a teenager. This business networking group. I was a kid. I joined lots of business networking groups and property investment groups. Started rubbing shoulders. Because when you put yourself in the right room, when you put yourself in those environments, you'll find yourself out of your comfort zone. But when you're out of your comfort zone, that's where you grow. So by the time I was 20, I was not a normal 20-year-old. I was a normal 16-year-old, but not a normal 20-year-old because of the 4 years where I continued to do that. I hope that helps. Keep going, bro. I hope to meet you soon as well. Glam Azone. Does management company for HMO find new tenants or just looks after maintenance of the property? Glam, HMO management companies will do whatever you want them to do. So they can find the tenants. Usually they'll charge a finder's fee per tenant, maybe half a month's rent or a month's rent, somewhere in between. They can manage the property. They can partially manage it. They can fully manage it. You can give them authority to make decisions. You can say to them, look, if there's any maintenance issues up to £500, just go ahead and do it. Don't even call me. You know, it just depends on the management company, and it depends on what kind of level of management you want and how hands-off you want to be. And they charge, typically a HMO management company will charge to manage the property in full. Somewhere between 10 and 15% is standard. Don't go for the cheapest, go for the best. Yeah, hope that helps. Razvan Gabriel. I'm currently living in Manchester and I'm thinking about renting a 2-bed flat in the city centre and use it for dual intent. I'll rent the flat using a corporate let agreement and then I'll let a room out to myself while keeping the other room for my corporate clients from Airbnb and Booking.com. I have to pay rent anyways as I live here for work, so it might be less risky starting out with this strategy. Based on my calculations, I'd only need 40% occupancy rate to break even. Anything above that is profit! Do you think this could possibly work? If so, do you have any advice for me or anything that I should take into consideration before moving forward? Razvan, I think it's a great idea. It just works. It's like, this is called house hacking. House hacking is when you rent a property, but then you rent out the rooms or the room in the property. It's house hacking. You live rent-free. I think it's a fabulous strategy, and I look forward to hearing how you get on with it. And if anybody else is watching this who's maybe young and you want to move out with your parents' property or whatever, I would consider this as a strategy to look into. The only thing you're going to need is you're just going to need a landlord that gets it and is okay with you doing it. Great. Okay. Jay Lewis says, just getting started. Tried to buy a 6-bed HMO. I have enough money for the deposit, but there's only one lender who would lend me the money at a high interest rate because I would be a first-time landlord. Have you heard of this before? How can I get started if I'm going to be penalized for a first-time landlord? Okay, Jay Lewis, yeah, if you're going from 0 properties, you're not a landlord, and now you're wanting to buy a 6-bed licensed HMO, a lot of lenders would consider you an inexperienced landlord because you own no properties, and therefore they'd want to see 6 months experience just owning a normal buy-to-let property before they start giving you money to buy, you know, the big licensed 6-bed HMOs. I mean, if it was a 4-bed HMO, you'd find it easier. So it doesn't surprise me that you've only found one lender that would do it. It depends on what they're charging you. If they're charging you 5%, I'd probably just pay the 5%. And then maybe after a year or two, when the term ends, refinance on a cheaper rate. If they're charging you 10%, that's a different story. Then maybe consider either finding a smaller property to start with as your first investment, or bringing someone more experienced onto the property and bringing down the rates. So I hope that helps. Saves channel. I have £400,000. Best strategy for investing in property. Please answer, Samuel. It depends on what you want. It depends on what you want to achieve. If you've got £400,000, are you wanting to create cash flow? Are you wanting to invest it and preserve it so that it's just going to slowly go up over time? Are you wanting both? Like, are you wanting to be hands-on or hands-off? It really, really depends. If you've got 400 grand, that 400 grand, you could do a pretty big deal. I mean, I've been doing deals with less than that. You probably saw on YouTube a few months ago, we bought a piece of land in Leeds for 210 grand. And then we're getting development finance to build a big apartment block, 5 2-bed apartments. The end value would be over £1 million. You could do that kind of a deal if you wanted to. Or you could go and buy a bunch of HMOs and get some cash flow. No, it just depends. Hey, hit me up on Instagram and I'm happy to have a chat with you. Okay, last question. Bram Glory says, I live in the Netherlands and the house prices have been rising for years. Any advice how I could enter this market? Well, you could buy a house and then you'd be in the market. If you've got money, it's pretty straightforward. If you haven't got money, then you could maybe consider buying a house on a lease option agreement. I've never done one in the Netherlands, but I believe that it's possible where you could buy a house, but agree to pay for it down the line. And then in the meantime, you've got your foot in the door. You're benefiting from rent, you're benefiting from capital appreciation, but you've paid potentially a £1 option fee. That's lease option agreements. Sounds too good to be true, but when you know how to do this type of thing, it just opens your mind up so big. You know, you guys want to learn about lease option agreements for sure. Hey, if you've got questions for me, comment below, smash the like button, subscribe, and I look forward to answering your questions next week. I also look forward to seeing you at one of the live training programs. I'll leave a link in the description so you can come and meet me live at a free training program on the house. I want to meet you. I want to see you win. Get booked on, and I look forward to seeing you guys real soon.